Today, we're going to cover Sha'Carri Richardson's performances for 2023. If you're an avid fan, you know that last year was not a success for Sha'Carri Richardson, and 2021 took a dive due to the marijuana suspension causing her to miss the Olympics, where she would have the opportunity to cement her stardom. This year, she came ready to show the world that she's a new woman, a force to be reckoned with, and that she's not bad, she's better. Sha'Carri Richardson started this year with a bang. At the Texas Relays, she split 10.02 seconds, blazing by Gabby Thomas and almost catching up to Aaliyah Hobbs. What was also apparent with Sha'Carri at the Texas Relays was how lean she appeared in comparison to previous years. For the observant eye, that in itself was evidence that she was at a new level of seriousness this year. Sha'Carri's first individual 100-meter race of the year was held in early April at the Miramar Relays, where she first showed the new her. In the heat of the 100 meters, wearing her trademark red hair, Sha'Carri Richardson darted to a 10.75, creating a 5-meter gap in the process, ultimately shocking the crowd considering how early it was in the season. Later that day, in the final of the 100 meters, Sha'Carri Richardson unleashed the beast and exploded to a 10.57 seconds, despite celebrating before the finish line, causing the crowd as well as the commentators to drop their jaws in utter shock at what they just witnessed. Unfortunately, the time came with a 4.1 meters per second tailwind, making it illegal. Thus, it was not recognized as an official personal best or world lead. Either way, 10.57 seconds is in all conditions fourth fastest time all time. About 3 weeks later, Sha'Carri Richardson headlined in the 200 meters at the Botswana Grand Prix. Sha'Carri took second place to Keely and produced at 22.54 seconds. It appeared that Sha'Carri stopped pushing at about 80 to 90 meters left in the race, as it can be observed that her knee lift action had diminished. Her continued A+ performances went on throughout the season. In mid-May, Sha'Carri hit the airways to compete in the KIP Candle Classic in Nairobi, Kenya. Sha'Carri was ready to shut down the social media naysayers resulting from her less than expected performance against Keely. At the sound of the gun, Sha'Carri exploded out of the blocks, running the turn perfectly and building a 5 to 10 meter lead at the 100-meter mark. She pushed for another 50 to 60 meters and completely shut it down, with 40 or so meters left while putting her arms out in celebration. She shocked the world by crossing the finish line in a world-leading time of 22.07 seconds, leaving commentators and fans in awe, wondering as to how much faster she could have run if she had run all the way through the line. Next, Sha'Carri Richardson clashed against Shericka at the Diamond League in Doha, Qatar. Sha'Carri did not have a good start. However, with her unmatched top-end speed, charged ahead and crossed the finish line with a 3 to 5 meter lead on the competition. That time was 10.76, a meeting record. There was a narrative saying that Sha'Carri didn't run well internationally. Well, this win shut that down for good. With many expecting Shericka to come out on top, considering her recently established resume. Sha'Carri put a damper on those expectations. On May 22nd, Sha'Carri was poised to clash against the other undefeated athlete in the 100 meters, Fraser-Pryce. There were two prelim heats, one of which included Sha'Carri Richardson, Alana Reid, Gabby Thomas, etc. And the other heat, Fraser-Pryce, Aaliyah Hobbs, Brianna Williams, etc. Sha'Carri dominated the first heat with an easy 10.90 seconds, while looking left and right to signify that they are not on her level. One, however, cannot overlook the fact that Sha'Carri Richardson's 10.90 seconds looked like a walk in the park. When you're looking around like that in the 100 meters, it's clearly too easy. Marie-Josée Talu also took control of her heat in 10.88 seconds, slightly ahead of Aaliyah Hobbs, who crossed the line in a 10.95 seconds. Unfortunately, the Sha'Carri Richardson versus Talu clash did not come to pass as Sha'Carri scratched the final due to a hamstring injury precaution, and it was later learned that both Talu and Aaliyah Hobbs also scratched the finals for unknown reasons. Considering the times that Sha'Carri Richardson and Marie-Josée Talu were running prior to this meet, there was a great deal of excitement and expectation from the fans in anticipation of this final. However, fans would have to wait for another time. A couple of weeks later, on June 10th, in the heats of the 100 meters, Sha'Carri cruised to an easy 11:06 win, while taking the foot off the gas in the last 10 to 15 meters. Moments later in the finals, she did not disappoint by producing a 10.73 seconds, while once again backing off the gas for the easy win. Fast forward to the US Nationals, which took place in early July. The talk of the town was, will Sha'Carri win the 100 meters, or rather, qualify for Budapest since she did not make the World Championship team in 2022. Sha'Carri made it clear at the beginning of the season that she was more serious than ever before. If that 10.57 was not clear enough indication of her spectacular fitness this year, then the universe doesn't know what to tell you. Is Sha'Carri a force to be reckoned with in Budapest for both the 100 and the 200 meters? Stay tuned. Part 2 coming up next. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching. Till next time.